Everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. This is Daily Reflections. We are going to go live here in just a second. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get on, so everybody knows that we are going live. So anyway, there's a bunch of people that asked me to do this, so we're going to go live here in just a few seconds. I'm going to wait till everybody gets on. Right now, the Cubs game is going on strong. And there's all kinds of stuff going on tonight that is just fabulous, just awesome. And I personally am a Cubs fan. And so if you kind of see the background a little bit of, kind of also have the Cubs game on so I can keep track of the score, but I got it on mute. But anyway, a lot of my friends are Cardinals fans. A lot of them are Red Sox fans. Some of them are Reds fans. So for everybody out there that are supporting the Cubs and the Indians, that's awesome, because since the Cubs are in the World Series, and I saw one of my friends on Facebook tonight. He's over at the game and he was trying to figure out. Now I'm curious, when was the last time a World Series game was played at Wrigley Field? So as we're getting everybody's coming on, I'm going to start in just a few minutes here. Where got some trivia going on here right now, because I'm actually trying to figure out when was the last time a World Series was played in Wrigley Field. I remember my grandpa. My grandpa's probably one of the biggest Cubs fan you can ever imagine. Next to my grandpa, and I have to say next to, is my Uncle Ray. Who is probably, you gotta understand, when the Cubs went to the World Series, the first person I thought about was my Uncle Ray. He is the biggest Cubs fan I can ever imagine, so it was pretty cool. And I only wish him the best, because like I said, sorry about that, I got a weak signal. Anyway, the other side of that story is I've got an aunt who is a Catholic nun. She's in her late 90s. Sister Florence, you guys always hear me praying for, and you always hear me talking about her. She is the world's largest Cardinals fan, and she's a Catholic nun. So in our family, it's either Cubs or the Cardinals. However, I got a few friends out there that are White Sox fans. I got some Reds fans, and since I got Marines, my fellow brothers out there from all over the United States, they're fans. Some of them just hate football, or some of them just hate baseball and only like football. So, but that season's not here yet for me, and I like sports. I just prefer playing them. So if you're all wondering why I'm talking right now, it's because I'm waiting on everybody to get on. I told everybody I'd give them a few minutes, and I kind of actually clicked on a little bit earlier. I got a different computer now, which the computer's over here. My tablet's right there. A couple of things. I just want to go down the list, making sure everybody's motivated, everybody's positive today. Buddy Tim, he's getting out of the hospital, he said, on Monday. That's awesome. And that's up for him to tell anybody. Little discouraging news tonight. One of my friends, I found out, lost a family member of his. A lot of us, our moms are our strongest figures in our life, and it makes me think of my mom, but I don't know the reason, I don't know why, and I don't know what happened. All I know is I've got a friend hurting tonight because he lost his mom, and to me that kind of touches home a little bit because of when I lost my mom. But he's in our prayers tonight, he's in our hearts. We always have to make sure that we understand to celebrate the people that we lose, and when they first lose, it's that sadness and that pain that overtakes us, and it's hard, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. There's nothing anybody can tell you that's going to make it any easier. There's just not. So don't ever even try to attempt that, because when we lose those that we love, it's painful. It's very, very painful. And all I can do is wish my best for him and pray for him tonight. And and I will say this as we go. We will say a prayer tonight, because my friend's hurting. I've got other friends out there that they're just doing magnificent in life. I mean, they're getting their jobs. A couple of my friends, their kids got their driver's license lately, and it's kind of like I feel old now, because birthday parties for 16-year-olds that at one time you never even thought your friends were ever going to even have kids or be capable of having kids, and yet they have the miracle of life. So Alright, I guess we can get started here. Let's see, here it is. Oh, it's 9:20. Alright, everybody. Well, just in case you're just joining us, my name is Jeffrey Jansen. I am from Quincy, Illinois, and this is what I refer to as Daily Reflections. And what I like to make everybody clear is everybody's invited to this, okay? This is not a religious broadcast nor anything like that. But what we do is we look at things that are going on in society, and we look at the positives, okay? And we try to stay away from the negatives by saying why the positives are what they are. The reason why I started this a long time ago is for my 9-year-old daughter. Her and I started this. As y'all see, that she's not with me tonight, and this would normally be my weekend, but there's a bunch of Halloween stuff going on, and her grandma asked if it'd be okay if she went in there. Of course, I said it was okay, you know. She's more into the Halloween scene than I am. But I will be going trick-or-treating with them on Monday and everything, and they're just out today. Plus, I have to work with some of my team this weekend. It's the end of the month, and I always try to do my best for my team. And since they wanted to go trick-or-treating, however, I think I will have to put on a costume on Monday. So, I don't know. Anyway, this week, you notice that I always tell everybody to stay away from the social media sites and everything because there's so much negativity on there. I'm a bad example of that because I'm just as guilty as everybody else. But what I always try to do is I always try to keep my comments and everything I put on there as positive as I can. But then again, a lot of times I'm traveling around the United States, you know, and I talk to all different kinds of people all the time, and I get to hear about some really great things going on. And, you know, the best thing you do is go out there and listen to somebody that's positive. Now, one of the main reasons why I started this page is I'm going to get into right now. We forget in life who our heroes are and why our heroes are who they are. And whenever I start talking about this last week, not this weekend, last weekend, Sunday, I had the pleasure of going in front of a reserve unit here in my hometown. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I get to talk to that reserve unit, everybody. And remember, they come from every walk of life, and some of these guys and some of these women are some of the greatest people you can ever meet. But I got to find out about how the reason why I love going to these units, it reminds me of the camaraderie, it reminds me of the brotherhood, it reminds me of the family aspect of the military. And one of the things that I pointed out, and one of the things I do, is I do like will workshops and stuff like that for people, and I bring legal and I bring identity theft. We don't sell that on here. I'm just telling you what I do. So when I was going there and I talked to all of them at once, they all have all kinds of questions for me and everything else. But it reminds me, always thinking about that 22 veterans every single day take their lives. Why do veterans take their lives every day? People are always asking. They always say, well, why don't they get help? Or why doesn't somebody help them? Well, if you actually start doing the math, and you take 22 veterans a day by 365, you know, do the old figure. Let's do the figure right here, okay? And this is heartbreaking. So you take 365 times 22 a day. In 1 year, that's 8,030 people. 8,030 people. There's only 2,000 in a Marine Corps battalion. So how many battalions are we losing over the course of time? Now, why do I say this? Because they don't understand that they matter. They don't understand they're important. If there's 22 people out of your high school dying every day and you think they can do something about it, you got to ask yourself, we have 5 or 6 people, maybe 20 or 30 get the flu, and oh my God, that's an epidemic. We've got to go and do something about it. Here we have 22 veterans a day dying, and we're like, oh, they can do something about it. No, we need to be rushing to make sure they get help. We need to do something. We need to be positive in life. You know, half the reason why there's so much negativity is we put so much doom and gloom on everybody nowadays that we do not show them the brilliance of life. Now, today, you guys can call me whatever you want. I go outside today, and my rose bush, this is October, mind you, my rose bush has this beautiful purple rose on it. Here, I'll even show you what it looked like. I had to take a picture. Now, if you can't look at life and be like, you know, that's pretty cool, because most of us, all right, that was the rose that was on my bush today. You know, 22 vets a day. Somebody tells me, Jeff, you talk about the same thing every day. You talk about the same thing every day. Yeah, you know what? There's also people being buried every day that do not need to be buried. There are people that we can reach out to, give a hug, give a handshake, say hi, hello, how you doing? Okay? We have kicked society, we have kicked people down so bad, we don't even realize we kicked them down. I see people that have been so high and they have fallen so hard that people, when they get around them, they start kicking them when they're down. I'm watching these elections and just watching people beat the crap out of each other. For what? For what reason? Why are we treating people so negative when life has so much to offer? Why are we blaming each other for life when we need to take responsibility for ourselves? My fellow brothers and sisters are out there today homeless, tired, hungry. Okay? Some of them have kids who are homeless, tired, and hungry also. And all they want to do is hear good. They don't want your money. They want your hope. They don't want your pity. They want your pride to basically say, hey, thank you. Hey, you go to college? Hey, you know there's some vocational schools over here? Hey, you know there's a program over here. Hey, how about I take you over there and let's get a bite to eat? Do something today. Now, let's get into their next heroes. Those are heroes. This is the hero segment. Who's our heroes? You guys hear me say this all the time. Police officers are heroes. I will say this again. Police officers are heroes. Do you know why police officers are heroes? Right now, there's a Cubs and Indians game going on right now. You know how many police officers are at that game making sure to keep law and order so people don't trample each other, do not hurt each other, do not rob each other? Yet they're there every day, and they might not even be a Cubs or Indians fan whatsoever, but they're there tonight. And you know what they're worried about? They're not worried about the game. They're worried about some stupid fan pulling a gun. They're worried about some terrorist starting a bomb. They're worried about, and they need to get home to their families because their families love them. They don't take the job because it's a multi-million-dollar job. Heck, it's a low-paying job. But they do it because they love it, and they do it because they love people. You can't be a police officer and not love people, I'm sorry, or a sheriff or a detective. These men and women deserve our respect. Shake their hand. Don't be scared of them. They went to school with us. They went to the military with us. They're right there with us every single day. Guess what? They like the human interaction. They like, hey, how you doing today? Now, there's some great 911 operators out there, too. I know a bunch of them. They're outstanding. Now, they might not like people so much. But guess what? They deserve a thank you also. Why? Because they're manning those telephone lines for you to call them. Who else? School teachers. School teachers are the epitome of our nation. Every single child at some point in time, unless they're homeschooled, but even then, you become the teacher. So every single one of our children out there has to go in front of a teacher. They have to sit in front of that teacher. I can still tell you every single one of my teachers' names. You ready for this? In kindergarten, I had Miss Yock. In first grade, I had Mrs. Dolan. And second grade, I had Miss Mays. Third grade, I had Miss Endenbrock. Fourth grade, Mrs. Hess. Fifth grade, I got held back in because of my mom dying. But I had Mr. Kessler, okay? Keith Kessler. Probably one of the nicest guys you could ever imagine. Then after that, at the same time, I had Miss Simons for math. And later on, I had Mrs. Harborn, Mrs. Black for my math teacher. And then I can keep going on to the junior high and senior high. But why do we remember our teachers? Why are they our heroes? Because they're the ones who in some way, shape, or form got through to us when nobody else could to let us know how great we were and how much greatness we have in us. In other words, to do better. And today their job is a lot harder because not only are they getting paid less, but now they have to start buying the supplies and stuff for their room. Their classes are larger, and they're there every single day. You know, they get there early, then they have to stay late. And a lot of them, they take on the sports. They help out with different things in the school, plus the PTA meetings. I mean, their job's hard. So we must always remember to tell a school teacher, thank you. How about firefighters? Firefighters are heroes also. Farmers are heroes. Okay? Why are these people heroes? It's because they're giving more of themselves than what they ever ask in return. That's all I want to tell you about is who the heroes are. How about nurses? Nurses and nurse practitioners, every single day they are at the hospital. They are at the nursing homes. They are there to take care of our loved ones. They are there to take care of us when nobody else is around. Can you imagine? And I'm going to go back to a military part of that because of the nurses, but we have what's called corpsmen when we were in the Marine Corps. And there's a buddy that I was over at one of the gas stations here in town. It turns out he was a corpsman. And it's kind of funny because corpsmen are the only ones that can relate to Marines. Why do corpsmen relate to Marines? Because they're on the front lines with the Marines. Every time we train, they're right there. And I tell you what, we drag them through the mud. And if you don't think they can take it better than any Marine. And corpsmen are basically our best friends when we're on that battlefield. And sometimes we forget what corpsmen are. They're pretty much our medics. They are the people that are out there on the front lines with us. They train with us, and we love them to death. In case that's your history lesson for what a corpsman is, okay? And corpsmen are Navy, okay? I'm not Army, so I don't know too much about how the Army works, but I know they have medics and stuff in the field also. So, getting back on track. This week, what goals did you set for yourself? Did you accomplish your goals that you set? Did you set a goal for yourself, and did you speak it out loud so it becomes into existence? Did you set a goal to maybe lift a little more weight on the bench, run a little bit farther outside, walk another block? Did you lose another pound? Did you drink another bottle of water? Did you read another book? Did you go to church one more time? Did you maybe go to a prayer group? Did you maybe go and talk and say hi to a friend? What was your goals this week, and did you set those goals, and did you accomplish those goals? Did you put the line in the sand and say, every day I'm going to cross another line? But you set them enough to where you can reach them every day. So when you get to the end of the week, you're like, bam, done, got it. Okay, I accomplished that goal. Now I went to the next one. You got to understand, when you start thinking about goals and stuff, you got to think about how you're going to accomplish them. You think a boxer goes into a boxing ring thinking, oh, I'm going to go in there. Or you think they're going to go in there all pumped up. Get ready to go. Get ready to go. Get ready to go. Get that energy. Get that energy. I understand my energies are higher than most people. But when you get out there and you get those goals in there, it's like a boxer getting in the ring. You always see them jumping around. Why would they jump around before a boxer ring to wear themselves down? They're not. They're getting hyped up. They're getting energized. They're getting excited. Marines, we yell and we scream. I can't tell you how many times you're like, oh, you got like 5 Marines coming over a hill, and it turns out everybody thinks there's like 1,000 because we're so loud, because we're coming over that hill. You got to get yourself energized. Every morning you get up, you've got to force yourself to get up. You got to get up. You got to do your push-ups. You got to do your walking. You got to eat those carbs if you want some carbs. You've got to do what it takes to get up, to get energized. And if your way of getting energized is you get those meals slowly moving, all of a sudden they really moving, then you're going to hit your goals every single time. But if you set your goals so high, it's like, every day I'm going to set my goal because I'm going to win the lottery this week. That's not a freaking goal. Your chances of winning the lottery, dude, why don't you just give me the money, and I will use it as toilet paper, and maybe you can make some money off that later on when I become famous or something, okay? Because honestly, you go play the lottery every single week. By the time you're 40, 50, I know a guy that's like in his 50 years old. He's played the lottery every single week, the pick 3, the Powerballs every single week. Spends like $40 a week. Do the math. Every week. Take 40, okay? How many weeks are in a month? 52. You take 40 times 50, then do that by 40. Since he's 50 years old, say, do that by 30 years. Dude, you just won the lottery by not playing the lottery. You see where I'm getting at? So when you're setting your goals, why do I say this? When you're setting your goals, when you're looking at your objective you got to take, you have to be able to take that objective. If I'm a Marine, and I've got a platoon of Marines with me, and we're riflemen, okay? And we're only armed with, say, an M16. And all of a sudden, we're going to go up against a battalion of tanks. It's probably not going to happen. I'm sorry. Even for Marines, no matter how big and bad we are, if all we're armed with is M16s and we have to take the objective, we're not going to get to that objective. But if you strategize and you plan your goals out accordingly, you can even take down or get around the tanks. You just don't go through them. You can figure out you can go around them. So whenever you set your goals, think about your goals. First thing, be a human and use your brain. Then write it down, and then go after your objective. If I'm going to go lose weight, and the first thing I got to do is, I haven't ran in a long time, but I'm going to go run a marathon tomorrow, and I'm going to win that marathon. No, you're not. That's an unrealistic goal. But if I go out and I'm going to practice for it, by each day I'm going to go another block. I'm going to run another mile. I'm going to run 2 miles. I'm going to run 3 miles. Every single day I'm going to run a little bit more. And at the end of the month is when that marathon is, and I knew I worked it. I know one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to finish. That's your first goal. Then as you keep doing it and you get your body stronger and you get your mind set, eventually then you say, I'm going to place. Then you can go after the first place person. But you got to get your mind in the right area. You got to get your mind thinking correctly. If your mind's not thinking correctly, you're never going to you're never going to take the objection of, you're never going to, objective. You're never going to be able to take the objective. And the reason why is because you got to be right in your mind first, which means you got to build from the inside out. Why do I do these here? So you guys understand that it all starts from the inside out. If you're drowning in water and you go to try to save somebody, you're going to save nobody, and you're going to pull the person down with you. You have to save yourself first. You have to get your goals into realizations. If you're going to drown, you better learn to swim first. You better have some life vest or something on. But you know what? If you build up to it, you will overcome anything that you never used to be able to overcome. If you have a disability or you have some kind of illness and you blame the illness and so you stay in bed every day and you do nothing with your life because, oh, I've got an excuse. Guess what? Excuses are just that. Excuses. And everybody's got them. Guess what? You want to know the ones that are winning, the ones that are out there every day? And I don't mean actually coming in first. I'm just talking about overcoming the objectives they set for themselves. You know why they're reaching their goals? It's because they don't use the excuses. They speak it out loud. This is what I'm going to do. This month, okay, I'm going to tell you right now. These are my objectives for all the way through December. I'm speaking them out loud to every one of you. October, I'm going to be an executive director. Okay, actually, and then November, I'm going to be an executive director. December, I'm going to be an executive director. All of 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, the rest of my life, I'm going to be an executive director plus. That's my first goal. Why? Because I've already made it there, but now it's the idea of sustaining it and then moving up. I'm going to help each month 5 people accomplish their goals, no matter what they are. Because I want to help people, because that's the only way that I'm ever going to get up is by helping others get up, and eventually they'll lift me to the top. I'm going to make sure to never lie, cheat, or steal. I'm going to teach my daughter the value of life and what it means. I'm going to teach my daughter to never be a bully, but also never back down to a bully. I'm going to teach her who Marines are. I'm going to teach her what Americans are. I'm going to teach her what the rest of the world is. I'm going to tell her how great it is. But I'm also going to tell her not to ever be taken advantage of. I'm going to be the guy that I hope someday she marries. Or a woman if she wants to go that way. I don't care. But I'm going to be the person that she is going to set an example by. Why? Because it goes into my last thing to talk about tonight. Parents. You guys, I understand that everybody has hard times with each other. I understand it's difficult. But to be a good parent, a single parent, I am single father who wants to do good by my daughter. Well, you know what? To do good by my daughter, that means I have to get along with her mother. And you want to know something? After a while, you get along with these people. Everybody's like, oh, you're still... No, you know what happens? You become friends with them. And when you become friends with them, you kind of trust them. The relationship part's not there. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a decent relationship. Now, there's so many people out there that are fighting each other that some days you're just going to be like, look, and apologize to the other person. Even though you did nothing wrong, just say, look, will you please forgive me? Because you need to get them out of your life. You need to let them go. You need to rip up that contract for whatever space they took up in your head. Apologize to them. I'm sorry. I am sorry because I cannot make this. I am sorry because this is not meant to be. I am sorry that you're a bully, and I am sorry that you felt you have to bully me. But I no longer want you to take up real estate in my head. I no longer want you to be the burden of my life. It is easier to forgive and forget and move on. So not only do you ask them for forgiveness, then you forgive them. And then you move on because now you can forget about them. It doesn't matter if they accept your forgiveness or they apologize back to you or anything else. That's not even what it's about. It's about not letting them take up real estate in your head. By you setting those goals and objectives, back to goals and objectives. You wonder why bullies are who they are. Because we let them. You don't have to go beat up a bully, or you got to be stronger than a bully or richer than a bully. You have to out-strategize a bully. You have to get them off your head, because you know what? It's like anything else. They know they can get to you. They're going to keep going. I got a couple of my Marine Corps buddies to this day. They know how to get to me. They're my friends, though, and that's the reason why they're still in my mind, because they are my friends. I'm going to love them forever, but they can get me to turn beet red. And I just like, it's like, oh my gosh. I got other ones that maybe not have the same political, physical, or viewpoints as me. I love them to death, and I will defend their right to believe whatever they want. But we get into these debates, and it's like, really, you guys are driving me crazy. Why are you guys driving me crazy? But I love them, and I would never change anything about them. Just like I've put on my Facebook page before, look, I don't care about your political references. I don't care about, what your viewpoints are. But do not ever come and start attacking me or my friends or anybody else because you feel that we are a certain viewpoint. Because I guarantee you, my friends, they're all parties. And they argue with the best of them. I'm not protecting them from you. I'm actually protecting you from them, because if we argue amongst each other and we love each other and we don't get along but we disagree and we're able to do it, they'll destroy anything you've got from either side. So I love my Marine Corps buddies and I love my friends on there. Some of them are priests, some of them are doctors, some of them are rabbis, some of them are from other countries, and it's great. But they all know that in the end we're all friends. And that's what it amounts to. So get rid of the negative in your life. Get rid of all the negative. Get the positive. You know, every day, the reason why I also say get the motivation, I always use physical fitness as it, is because when you start getting your blood flowing, as me, I'm getting it right here, and you can see my blood's flowing right now. And now let's go back to what I originally started with. 22 veterans every single day die. They take their own lives. People that are not veterans, that are just regular everyday people, have depression. And they're hurting on the inside. Every day, we must let people know they matter. We have to call friends and family. Go back in my Facebook and look for the last 10, or all the way back since I've been on there. You'll see I've been preaching this stuff from day one. Call those that you haven't talked to in a long time. Call up friends and family. You never know if someone's going to be here tomorrow or the next day. We always say we put stuff off, and we're always putting stuff off. And eventually, we're going to put it off so long, we're never going to have that chance. Or we could have helped somebody. We could have given them some words of wisdom. We could have been there for them. We could have introduced them to our family because of how great they were at one time. But because of a small argument, we don't talk to them anymore. Now all of a sudden, I've got these great kids that I want them to meet, you know, some great people, whether it's a sister or a brother or a cousin or an aunt or uncles, whatever it is. But we get in these debates to where we're so stubborn we forget. Somebody's got to loosen up. Let it be you. Because you want to know something? You want to know why you're stubborn? Because you're thinking you're being strong. The strongest person is the one that says, I'm sorry. The strongest person is the one that asks for forgiveness. The one that asks for forgiveness is the strongest of the two. If you want to put a game on it. And you want to know something? When you actually have a heartfelt apology, you have a heartfelt reason for what you do, you become humble. You're not weak. Humble is not weak. I don't know where people got that idea from. Humble is being strong enough to know, look, this is stupid. I must move on with my life. So we can either move along together or I've got to go my separate way. When you have friends that are nothing but negative, that nothing but have to tear each other apart, tear each other down, and you look at the top 5 friends of your life and all they're doing is ripping each other apart. And you still are friends with those people. That's great. Be friends with them. But you're going to have that same attitude. Eventually, you have to walk away from them. You're not giving up on them or giving in on them. You're basically saying, please forgive me. But I cannot be with you guys no more because I need to move on with my life. I am more of a person. But when I'm around you, I'm not. Around you, I'm all nothing but negative. So you got to get away from that negativity. Do I still have bullies to this day? Yes, I do. Do I know who they are anymore? No. Because the ones that I knew were bullies, I asked them to forgive me and I apologized to them. And then I forgave them for what they did and I walked away. They probably are sitting there laughing, hee hee ha ha. And then I look back and they're still in the same position they were. And I have moved forward with my life. And I wish I could help them. And I'm reaching down to them and say, look, I don't care who you are. I will take you with me whether you like me or not. Just let me help you pull yourself forward. But they don't want to take the hold. But that's okay. We have a lot of other people out there that want to do better by others. We just have to learn to forgive our enemies. We have to learn to forgive our friends. We have to learn to forgive ourselves. That being said, tonight I've taken up a lot of y'all's time. But tonight, because of my friend, I want to pray for his mom. She's in heaven now. And I've got a lot of friends out there that are suffering from terminal illnesses right now tonight. I've got my daughter's grandmother, who I'm keeping in my prayers tonight because she's suffering from cancer. I've got friends from my prayer group who they have prayers going on, and I'm going to pray for everybody they wanted me to pray for tonight. I want to pray for your children, and I want to pray for you. I want to pray not for all the negativity, but just for the blessings we have every day, for being able to get up in the morning, being able to have food on our plate, a roof over our head. I don't know what religion everybody is, but you want to know something? If y'all think down to it, we all have the same faith. Just because our religions are different, just because we might not believe in spirituality, doesn't mean we all don't have the same connection. And, you know, we may just call it something different. So tonight, for all my Marine Corps brothers and sisters out there, you guys are in my prayers tonight. For all you that are thinking about tonight killing yourselves because you don't know a better way out, you got to understand you matter and you're important. We're coming for you. We just don't know where you're at yet. We don't know who you are. We're here, though, if you need us. And I know that you will not reach out to us, but we're looking for you. And we're going to find you so that you understand that not only are you important, you matter, but you have made a difference in somebody's life. For all those truckers out there that are on the road every single day, rushing to get home, understand you guys are important. I know you're on the road every day thinking. I don't always, think of it, but you guys are very, very important. For all my Marine Corps brothers out there, you guys are important to me, every one of you. Whether we got along or not, I think the world of you guys. And it's a different reality once we're out, and you all know that. You all know that we're important to each other. And you guys got to understand that each one of you matter. And you need to get out there and let our other brothers know that they matter also. We need to let the police officers and the security guards and the nurses and everybody, we need to let them know that they matter. So I'm going to pray for them tonight too. Why? Because they're important. And each one of them, they matter. But we forget to tell people that they matter. We forget that there are people, they're human beings with feelings. And, some of them are alone. Look at all those people in the nursing homes, the veterans that are older, that don't think anybody will care about anymore. They can't leave the nursing home. Think about the people that are trapped with depression and in their own bodies. So we're going to pray for them tonight too, okay? And look at all those great parents out there. Look at those great children out there. We need to pray and say thank you for these kids. Thank you for our jobs. Thank you for who we are. Thank you for the clothes on our backs. That's what we need to thank God for. That's what I don't care who's your God or what you believe in or if it's just spirituality, but you gotta say thank you. Even if you gotta thank yourself, because sometimes we get so down we don't understand we are the ones who lifted ourselves up. Me, I believe that God lifts me up. I believe that Jesus lifts me up. I believe that if I need something. So tonight, if you want to pray with me, pray with me. If you don't, that's okay. If you just want to listen, that's fine. Tonight, I'm going to pray for all of you guys. I'm going to pray for all of our leaders. I'm going to pray for the ones I feel are leaders, such as the Rich Ellermans of the world, the Brian Cullers, the Alan Romans, the Chris Hugheses of the world. I'm praying for them because you know what? They're leaders. I'm praying for all of my first sergeants in the Marine Corps because they were leaders. And they still are. So, if you guys join with me, I'm going to say a quick prayer of Our Father, Hail Mary, and then I'll close it up, okay? So, in the name of the Father, and Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Dear God, thank you for every blessing you give us today. Please be with those tonight that have a terminal illness. Please be with those tonight that have lost a loved one, that they understand that by losing the loved one, that they now get to celebrate that person's life. That loved one does not want them to be sad or upset. That loved one wants them to move on with their life and be better tomorrow than they are today. God, thank you for all of our children, how great our kids are, how great they turned out when we know that we weren't the greatest of kids, but now we've got some beautiful children out there. Please watch over them, protect them from anybody that would do harm to them or wants to hurt them. God, please let the bullies of the world understand they don't have to be bullies for people to like them. Please let those that are being bullied become strong and stick up to their bullies. God, please be with all my brothers and sisters out there today that are contemplating suicide because they're so depressed inside. They don't think that they matter, or if their financial situation is so dire, or please let them know there is help and that we are here for them and that we love them. Please watch over all those single mothers and fathers out there that they're doing the best they can with their kids and they're doing an outstanding job. God, please be with all of our police officers and firefighters so people know that these are true heroes of the world and they really do love people and they're only looking out for our best interest. Please watch out for all the 911 operators, all of our school teachers and our nurses and our nurse practitioners. Please watch out for all the everyday people that work in the factories, that drive the trucks, that they keep our society moving, they keep the food on the table, and they keep our economy running great. God, most of all, thank you for letting us get up today. Thank you for my awesome friends that I have, that I'm blessed every single day that I have. At one time I took for granted, but today I know I am the luckiest person in the entire world for what I have today. Thank you for the blessings you bestowed on me. Please look out for those that are hurting and suffering tonight, that are sad and depressed, that they don't know which way to turn or go to. Please help the alcoholic get past and walk by one drink so he does not have to drink it tonight. Please let those that think they have to take drugs to cure all their illnesses, that tonight they just choose not to take it because they just feel they want to be stronger. Please show everybody how to set goals for themselves and how to move forward. How that they can overcome any objective, because if they can fall down and they can look up, that they can get up. That if they have people kicking them, that eventually one day those people will be inspired by them. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Now, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Anyway, thanks, guys, for everybody praying with me tonight. Thank you for listening to my speech. But now, remember this. Go out and motivate yourself. Set your goals and beat them. I told you, I already spoke my goals out loud. ED October, Executive Director October, Executive Director November, Executive Director December, and all for the rest of my life. I am not going back down. I spoke it out loud. I set the goals. I'm going after it. I'm going to work for it every single day. And the more people I can help, the more I can help myself. Because if I can help 5 people to the top, they can pull me up. And this is not a business speech. This is just the goals. Any of my Marine Corps brothers will tell you, you gotta just get out there and do it. It's Reveille, people, and it's time to get out. It's time to get moving, and it's time to move on with our lives and be positive, be friendly, be there for each other. You matter. You're important. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my family. God bless each one of you. And remember, you have made a difference in somebody's life. Remember that.